Check, check, check. Hello out there. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll let the stream get a few people in it. Make sure that things are going great. I hope y'all doing good. Me, I have been sick as a dog. I've been sick as a dog. I've been in the bed for 3 straight days with the most ridiculous virus there is. So, man, I'm trying to tell you. What up, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Everybody can hear me well on the stream? Check 1 2. Check, 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 check 1 2. Y'all can hear me? Let me know y'all can hear me. Say we got you, big bro. If you can hear me, say we got you, big bro. All right, cool. They say they can hear me. So, man, I've been in the bed for 3 straight days, and it's been awful. When I tell y'all it's been terrible, it's been awful. But your boy is here. I probably sound a little stuffy, but I'm gonna let y'all know that COVID is still out here. I don't know if I had COVID. My wife is a pharmacist, and she said there's a virus that's going around that if you test for the flu or you test for COVID, it won't come up as either one of those, but it has the same characteristics. So I don't know what I had, but what I will tell you is whatever it was trash. Not just trash dookie, like big trash. So, man, keep me in your prayers. I'm getting better. The stuffiness is going away, so that's cool. But yeah. So I wanted to get on here and talk about some things. Excuse me. I wanted to get on here and talk about some things that I've observed from my time with artists. And first of all, if you're an artist, I want you to write in the chat, say artist. You know, if you're an artist, if you're a producer, I want you to write in the chat, say producer. And if you're a fan, I want you to write in the chat fan. So that way I know who I'm talking to, so that I'm able to address y'all. But I've had some conversations with several artists and different producers over time, and I think there's a misconception on why I'm at where I'm at. I think there's a misconception on why people like myself are successful. Now, first of all, I want to encourage every last one of y'all out there. I need you to know this. You have to understand this, that just because you're not full-time an artist, doesn't mean that you're not an artist at all. Some people think that in order for you to be an artist, that you have to be making a living solely off of your art. And I want to let you know that is unequivocally, absolutely wrong. What up, Mr. G Reality? I want you to know that is absolutely, unequivocally wrong. Just because you're not making money full-time off of your art does not mean you're not an artist at all. That just means you haven't learned to monetize your art well, or your art hasn't been developed to the point to where people feel like it's worth buying. So that's number one. An artist is an artist. Like, the basis of an artist is a person that takes creativity and they use it to their advantage, and they make something out of nothing, or they make something out of their experiences. That's what being an artist is. But there's multiple differences between someone who is an artist as a hobby, and there's a difference between someone who's an artist for a career. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to help y'all out with some of these different things. So number one, the main thing is the artists that make this a career are the ones that have unlimited drive. They don't quit. They don't stop. There's no, I can't get it done. The idea of it not happening is not even in the picture. For me, when I create a product, the idea of it not making it to people that I wanted to make it to, it's not even a question. The only question is how many people are going to get the product. I don't care what happens in between. If there's financial difficulties, if there's life difficulties, it's drive. You have to understand music is one of the most competitive, like artistry in general is one of the most competitive things you can do. You probably have a better chance of making it in the NFL than you do making it as an artist. Because the thing about it, most people don't make that much money making art. So if you've made enough to live off of, congrats. Even if you're not a millionaire, congrats, you beat the odds. So that means that for the people out there that are looking back and saying, man, I want to be where Derek is at, you're going to have to outwork me. Do you understand that, right? Like, you're going to have to outwork me. There's no way you're going to be on my level without outworking me. I got a wife. I got 2 kids. I manage a whole record label full of multiple artists. And I also do other businesses. If I'm putting out more music than you in a year, more content than you in a year, it has zero to do with our circumstances. It's your drive. Because you have not made a decision in your mind and in your heart that you're not going to lose. And if you don't have that perspective that I'm not going to lose, it's a wrap for you. You might as well stop. You have to have that drive. Like, I remember when I first met Andy Mineo, the thing that stuck out to me about Andy was that the very first show, we did it in New York. It was actually New Jersey. And Andy walks in on time, like for the sound check. And then between the sound check and the show, he has a stylist come in. He's practicing his lyrics. And this is just like, he was already focused. He was driven. And he comes in with a team already. And he's focused and he had drive. And I remember there was times when things didn't work out for me like I wanted them to work out. But you know what I did? I stepped up to the plate every time. If you talk to every last artist out here, they'll tell you that they made it here in spite of difficulties, not because there was a lack of difficulties. So I'm going to keep it real. For the people that want to be artists and they won't put the work in, I have zero sympathy for you. Like, I don't have sympathy for a person that talks more than they work. I don't have no sympathy for you. Like, if you're working your butt off, and if you work your butt off for a year and you get zero, then now we got to talk about technique, which would be my next thing. There's a lot of people that aren't making a living off of their art just because they haven't developed the art enough. You cannot expect people, bro, we are in inflationary times. Everyone has more choices than we could ever imagine. I mean, there's every subgenre of hip hop you can think about, every subgenre of art. Everything is literally catered to the user. Like, as a consumer, this is one of the best times you could have ever lived, because you have an unlimited amount of clothes, you have an unlimited amount of music, an unlimited amount of entertainment. So you're competing against everyone's choices, right? So that means that the product that you have has to be one of two things: really exceptional, 3 things: really exceptional, really bad, or you have to have excellent customer service. In a sense, you have to be in tune with your audience. Understand, the only 3 ways you get attention is you have to be really exceptional, really bad, or your customer service has to be top of the line. You got to be so in tune with your base, and you know exactly what they want, and you're delivering a product that connects with them. That's the ways you get attention in today's economy as far as music is concerned. And then the last thing I'm going to say is a team. Now, I'm an independent. Like, I've been indie for a minute. I'm an owner of my label. And I think, there's been artists that I've wanted to sign over time, and they've seen other artists be independent, and they're like, man, I'm cool. I don't need a label. We going straight independent. And, you try to sign them, and they want to own their masters. They want an advance. And you go look at their Spotify, and they got 3,000 monthly listeners. And it's like, gang, like, bro, I'm not going to make no money off of you with 3,000 monthly listeners and giving you an advance, a huge advance, and then not owning the master. You just want something for nothing. So, and you look at them later, and I'm like, dang, they haven't really got much further than where they were when I was trying to sign them. And the main reason why that normally ends up being the case is because they don't have a high value for team. And if you want a team, people have to get paid. So do you have to sign a record deal? No, you do not. You do not have to sign a record deal to make it. But you absolutely have to have a team. Without a doubt, you have to have a team. I don't care who you are. I don't care what the master split is or what. You have to have a team. And the thing about having a record label support you is that's one of the easiest ways to buy a team. What you're doing when you sign with a record label is you're saying, I'm going to exchange the ownership of my records for access to your team and your connections and your relationships. And depending on the label and depending on where you're at in your career should dictate the terms as to why you should sign. That's the whole point of signing to a record label. So I've seen it. I've seen multiple things happen. I've seen people sign deals I've seen people sign deals just for the money. And then they get the money and they put their records in the hands of that team, and that record is completely misrepresented. They're like, dang. Like, bro, why am I growing in a way that I don't feel like I should be growing? Like, so you have rappers that sign with white CCM labels. There's not one black person in the building. There's not one black person at the desk when you signed with the record label. And then you're confused to why you don't have a black hip hop audience. Bruh, you signed a deal with white people who are promoting music to other white people, and that's why you don't have a black audience. That's the game. You're buying a team. So when I'm saying for all of you artists that are out there, I'm not saying don't sign a deal, but what I am saying is, and I'm not saying that you have to be independent or have a label. Only you as an artist know what you need to do. You know when you have exhausted all you can do with your team. You know when you have when you need that boost. Every artist really kind of knows. But what I am going to say is know that when you sign with a label, you're signing with that team. So you need to look and see, what has that label done? What are they doing? Man, when you sit down with a label, like, get you a label that when you sign with them, they tell you this is exactly what we see for you. We see you in this market. We feel like we have this foothold in this market, and we want to expose you to this market. Or at least that they say, hey, we'll bring in a team that will specialize in that market. But just know when you sign with a record label, you're signing with that team. And you are at the mercy of that team and that value. So the biggest reason why most artists don't make it, as far as we're talking, reason why most artists don't make it to make music a career And the reason why some of them keep it as an expensive hobby is they really just don't have a vision for themselves. A lot of y'all playing roulette with your career. You playing Russian roulette with your career. You putting a bullet in a gun, spinning that joint, and shooting it and hoping that it hits the target, as opposed to knowing where you're going. You don't have to necessarily know exactly where you're going, but you kind of got to know what you want. And don't be the artist that wants everything, because you're not going to get anything. I'm going to repeat that. Do not be the artist that wants everything, because you usually are just going to get nothing. Now, if you have focus on a particular point in a particular place, you may be able to grow way beyond that. But you can't be the guy that just wants to be famous. The guy that just wants to get famous never gets famous, because the reason why, they have no purpose other than themselves. The greatest artists, you can run me off any artist. I can tell you that any artist that's successful, I can show you where their career is bigger than them. They're either representing a culture, they're representing a city, they're representing a state, they're representing an identity, they're representing something bigger than them. So if you're just a guy that's like, I just want to be famous, you have already lost. Because you can't build a career around, I just want to be famous. Like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I just wanted to get on here and tell y'all a few of those tips, because I really see, like, the artists that follow me, sometimes I think we've missed the big picture of what being a full-time artist looks like. And I feel like a lot of people aren't giving y'all the game in the way that they should. So let's see. I've been on here for 17 minutes. I think I got 10, 15 minutes for questions. I'm looking at the chat on Instagram and I'm looking at the chat on YouTube. If you got questions, definitely holla at me. Just write your questions in the chat and I'll answer them, and I'll be as honest as I can. Also, if you need any type of, I do consultations now. That's something I've added into the game. So if you want to get a 1-hour consultation with me, you can go to derekminer.com and click the services tab, and we can do a 1-hour consultation, and you can pull out your music, you can pull out marketing plans, and I'll go through it with you. And yeah, I want to see the culture succeed, because we're coming into a time where if you're not strategic with your music marketing, it's going to be a lot harder to get lucky. And the thing that hurts me the most is when I see talented artists with zero plan have a great moment and it doesn't turn into anything other than a great moment. It doesn't turn into a career. So definitely, if you need help, like derekminer.com, and come do a consultation with me. But let's look at some of these questions. Diego, you stupid. All right, so Henry asks, does a artist have to have a big following to be signed? Henry, yeah. I'm not going to even lie to you. It don't have to be huge, but there got to be some motion, because labels are not signing artists. They're not signing art. They're signing movements. Labels are looking for people that have other people around them that are screaming and saying, we love this guy or this woman and we want them on a bigger platform. And when I'm investing in an artist, I'm investing in their ability to scale what they're already doing without me, right? So I'm not necessarily looking for the guy that's really, really talented that doesn't have any motion. We've done that before, and usually it just frustrates everyone, because the artist is frustrated that their art isn't moving, and then I'm frustrated that the business ain't moving. So having a following is not a clout thing. It's an expertise thing. It's me knowing that with the little that you've had, you found a way to develop an audience for yourself. So hypothetically, if I give you more, then you'll be able to grow a bigger audience, and I'll get to participate in that growth with you. I hope that makes sense. Someone asked, what if you don't have a team? Simple. You need a team. So that doesn't mean that you have to pay for a team. You have to have somebody that believes in you enough to say, I'm willing to help. Like, if you haven't built the relational equity or if you haven't built the financial equity to build a team, then that just means you got more growth to do. Like, you should have either someone who admires your art so much that they're willing to work it for free to help you, or work it for a small cost, like a fan, right? Or you should be generating so much money that you can pay somebody. If you're not able to do that, then that means you have to figure step one out. Step one, which is how in the world do I grow enough to get a team? If you can't figure that out, I mean, I don't even know what a label could help you with. All right, let's see. This question is from Jonah. I do remixes and I want to do some of your songs. You have any suggestions? Also, I want to start rapping. What's the best way to get into writing and rapping? I'm 13. All right, big homie. Well, 13 years old. A lot of my instrumentals and acapellas are out there. You can get them and do your thing with them. It'll go crazy. Like, it's all good. As long as you're not selling it, I ain't tripping. And then as far as how do you get into writing and rapping, it's simple. You just start writing and rapping. Like, there's no right or wrong way to get into it. You just get into it and you perfect it as you go along. So that's a good question, little homie. Much love. Minor love to kids. Let's see. What's an example of annual goals and plans for a ground floor artist? Also, how do you define your bigger picture mission? All right, that was a good question. So the first one is, what is an example of annual goals? That's a simple thing. You could literally say, you know what? My Spotify streams, I did 10,000 streams this year. I want to do 20,000 streams. Work backwards and see what you need to do. So the only way to do that is you have to analyze what worked. So what got me to 10,000 streams? Oh, well, I did a song with another artist. So maybe that means I might need to do more collabs in order to get more streams, right? Or maybe you're a social media content influencer and you're like, man, I want to grow my social media account. Well, what did you do to grow it to where it's at? Do that more or refine that. Like, that's pretty simple. The next one is, how do you define your bigger picture mission? The way you define your bigger picture mission is you have to have something that drives you to make music. Music can't be the ultimate goal. Even if you're like, man, I want to make creative music. Well, creativity is the mission for making music. So now you need to find all the artsy people, the people that want all of the eclectic things, and that's your bigger picture. It's to rally as many of those people around the cause as possible. That's how you find your bigger picture mission. So if you're a Christian rapper, you need to find all the people that want to hear about Jesus and their lyrics, right? If you're a gangster rapper, you find all the people that want to hear about the streets and gangs and all that in their music. If you're a Nashville rapper, you find all the people that care about Nashville culture and you rap about it, right? But it can't just be, I want to be famous. It has to be anything besides I want to be famous. Anything besides it. You feel me? Let's see. What else we got in here? We got some more questions. Much love to 5, man. Bet. Well, look like we running out of questions. So, man, hey, much love. I hope this was helpful. I hope that I'm gonna plan on, like, one of my annual goals this year is to go live a lot more often for y'all, and to be a better resource and to be somebody that can actually be an additive to the culture besides just making music. So much love to everybody. Again, DerekMiner.com if you need any help, you need beats and all that different stuff. I'm here, baby. Much love.